here's some awesome strength exercises you can do for strengthening all the muscles within the rotator cuff and around the rotator cuff. Need nothing but a band, a light band, something easy to increase your range of motion. You don't want to overdo it. Just always keep in mind when you're doing these exercises that you're not forcing anything. Once you find that you're doing these exercises and they're creating some resistance, don't try and go past that. Go to that point, lift it, let it get there, and then return back down. You're going to find that you want to do this to both sides of the body, even though that one side might be limited or injured. Make sure you do it to both sides and don't force it on the injured side or the weaker side. These are pretty straightforward in what you're doing. And again, light reps, I'd recommend right now starting off at 10 reps, one set each arm. You can do this daily to notice a improvement in the shoulder mobility, flexibility, and strength. So just keep that in mind. If you have any questions, just let me know. So first one I'm going to show you is you're going to take one foot, you're going to step on the band. So the less, the closer to the end of the band, as you see here, the less resistance we have. So you can dictate that. The further up on the band, the more resistance you're going to have. So it's going to be harder. And you can progress through this as you go along. So the first one we're going to do is going to start across your body. See, I have my left hand here. So say I was isolating my left shoulder. Say it was my left shoulder that was bothering me. I'm going to bring my arm right across. I'm going to have my thumb up, and I'm going to keep my arm straight. Other arm go right by your side if you can, and bring it right across the body, up and out. So we go across, up, and out. Thumb stays up, right up to the sky. Hand goes just a little bit past the shoulder, so we're going right across from the other pocket or the other waist, the other side of the body, and lift straight out, just like that. So 10 on the left, then we're going to go switch it up. And we got 10 on the right. Again, I know that only one side might be injured, but you want to balance this out. Bring it across, pretend you're putting it in the opposite pocket, and go right up. All right, so 10 on each. The next one we're going to show you is called the front raise. So you're going to step on that band, feet about hip width apart, knees bent, other hand on your hip, thumb up. We're going to go straight up, hand to the shoulder. After 10 reps, switch to the other side. Hand on your hip, come straight on up. So that's the front raise. Third exercise I want to show is going to be called lateral raise. So you can do 2 feet on this, or if you feel you need less, again, 1 foot on, 1 foot off. And this is where we're going to go from one side, and we're going to go straight out to the side. Hand from the hip to the shoulder. We do 10 on the right side, obviously, or 10 on the left side, whatever you're starting with, and then 10 on the opposite side. I'd always recommend starting the exercise on your non-injured side or your non-weak side so you can see the range of motion, and that way you don't force it on the injured side. So we're moving on to the 5th exercise here that I'm showing you. And again, just keeping in mind that the muscles that we're isolating here, they're very small muscles. They don't take a lot to strengthen. You just got to be consistent with them. This next one, it's going to really be more of a wrist movement, wrist and forearm movement, just like this, and I'm moving my arm forward and back like this to isolate the front part of our rotator cuff. So when we do this, take the band, place the opposite foot on the ground, and you're going to lock your elbow behind the midline of your body at 90 degrees. See, I have 90 right here. Okay, from there, what you want to do is hold that band here. You can have your thumb up. And what you want to do from here is lock that elbow right into the midline of your body, or right into the side, and you make your movement of wrist on out. This is called internal external rotators. They're coming up in the next 2 exercises. So internally moving in and out, keeping that elbow close to the body. Notice it doesn't come off, so I focus on turning out with my wrist. This is one of the hardest ones to explain and get. So notice my form here as I'm bringing my wrist on out slightly and then coming on back. Again, 10 on one side, 10 on the other. The next exercise ideally is done standing up. However, if you are so limited in your range of motion with this next one, see the next exercise, and that will give you the understanding of how to do it. You can do it on the floor, supported position. Otherwise, we want to have one hand on your hip. You want to have the other arm up, 90-degree angle, so from our shoulder to our elbow, from our elbow to our wrist is our 90 degrees. From there, we are going to keep your elbow in line with your shoulder. You're going to come on up with that elbow, and then you're going to bring your hand down just in front of that shoulder, and then come right back up again. If you're going to do weight with this, I wouldn't do much more than 2 to 5 pounds at the most. If you're going to start off with something, I'd start off without the weights, and then build yourself up to 1 pound, 2 pound, 3 pound, and so on. 1 pound increments would be most appropriate for you. So we do 10 on one side, 10 on the other. See the next exercise. If you can't bring the elbow up that high and you're limited in range of motion, for the alternate. On the lie down position, still want your elbow and shoulders aligned. Same position as standing up, just now you have more support with that arm and shoulder on the floor. The last one I want to show you, position your thumb down here this time. The other 3 I showed you, thumb was up. So we want your palm facing away from you or behind you, thumb facing in. You're going to go out to the shoulder. Your hand's not even going to go all the way up to the shoulder. It's just going to go below. Up and out. Slow and controlled. Hand comes just about hip width apart, and then right back up again. Switch it up to do the same to the other side. Again, you might only need 1 foot on the band. So we're going thumb down here, up and out. You want to focus on the injured side is really getting that full range of motion. So don't worry about forcing any sort of rep. So when we're doing an exercise, the last thing you want to do is force it to try and bring it all the way up, especially if that's the injured side. Then you're compromising your form. So you make sure that you lift using those muscles to really build the strength there. If you have any questions, just let me know. All right.